I've had this shelf for a while. It was a garage sale find a few years ago, and it just needs some love now. I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster, and I'm just going to give this shelf, the entire shelf, 2 good coats. Now, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Denise, and I'm so glad you stopped by. I love trash to treasure and DIY on a budget and shopping at Dollar Tree and all that fun stuff. So if you're into that, hit subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my crafting family here on YouTube. And for those of you returning, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you so much. You are the best. I'm just going to finish painting up this shelf. Um, and the inspiration for this project came from Liz, the official craft nerd. Have y'all checked her out yet? I mean, guys, check her out. I will leave a link to her channel in my description box. She is amazing, guys. She does a lot of shabby chic, beautiful, beautiful projects on her channel. And she did a project just recently. I don't know if it was her last one or the one before, but and I just thought it would be perfect to try out on this little shelf I have. So here I am. I'm painting the drawers now. Really, guys, if you're gonna paint like a glossy surface like this, it's best to sand. Well, I find it's best to sand the surface a bit first, rough it up a little bit so the paint adheres better. I don't know where my mind was with this first drawer. I just blew right through that step. But the second drawer, I definitely did sand. But yeah, I'm painting the drawers off camera. Oh, brother. And I'm painting the entire drawer. I'm painting the edges and the front, the sides, and I paint the inside because obviously when I open the drawer, I'm going to see inside. I had just enough paint, guys, just enough paint for this project. I didn't have a full bottle of plaster. I just winged it, and it turned out perfect for 2 coats each of the drawers and the shelf. I had just enough paint. I don't bother painting the backs of the drawers because no one's really going to see that. So I didn't have enough paint anyway, guys. I had just enough for what I needed. So that worked out great. I'm going to finish painting up this drawer, and this is what it looks like after it's been painted. New life, guys, new life. Now, I take some pretty coarse sandpaper here, and I'm just gonna sand all the edges, all the nooks and crannies in here, everything that could be, worn and aged, distressed. I wanted to make it look like it has a history about it. Here I try and show you the sanding, and yeah, I guess you could see it a little bit. I'm used to being at the table, guys. I'm not used to being on the floor with the camera. Um, I left this technique in because I love it, but I ended up not using it. Um, I cut some pattern paper and I took some water and a paintbrush and I just painted the edges of the paper with water to soften them up so it's easier to tear. And I just tore them into just little, little rectangle shapes. And I took the drawer and I Mod Podged it onto the drawer. Now, I don't know what happened, guys. After it was done, it just wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't what I was trying to do, And so I had the hardest time, guys, trying to get these off because I Mod Podged them on nice and good. Um, and it just wasn't working for me. So I ended up taking the wall stickers at Dollar Tree. I had some wall stickers from the Dollar Tree, and the colors just really worked much better than this did. But I wanted to leave this in because it's a really, really cool technique, and it can look really great on the right project. Now here it is, all done, and I have the wall stickers on there. And I just think it came out so pretty, guys. I can see the I can see the distressing, and I can see it looks old and worn, and it looks like it could just tell me a million stories that I would sit and listen to. But yeah, I really love how this came out, and thank you, Liz, for the inspiration. For this DIY, I wanted to make a little riser for my dresser. So I have a Dollar Tree candlestick, and I also have a metal shape, looks like a bottle cap. It's also from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to paint them in my white Waverly chalk paint. Now before I painted the candlestick, it is pretty smooth and glossy, so I gave it a coat of Mod Podge before I painted. Just helps the paint adhere nicely. Yeah, so I'm just quickly drying that up and I'm going to paint my little bottle cap shape here. Also in the white Waverly chalk paint. Now I wanted to use the same technique that I tried with my shelf with the pattern paper and the Mod Podge with this little riser. Just to show you that a technique might not look good on one particular project, but might be perfect for the next one. So I'm going to finish painting this up. Oh no, I thought I took this part out. Please don't dry. Oh, sorry guys. Thought I took this out. But here I am. I'm cutting my dry time in half here. All right, now that everything's dry, I took some super glue from the Dollar Tree and I just put it on some spots on the bottom of the candlestick, or the top of the candlestick. And I'm putting some hot glue in the spots where there is no crazy glue. Does that make sense? I didn't mix the glues. It's not a good idea. Now I let that sit for a while because I did paint it before I put everything together. So I wanted to use the super glue and the hot glue just to make sure it gave it a good hold. And now I'm just taking my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to distress the riser. I'm just going to take my little brush from Dollar Tree and just dry brush and distress the edges and the grooves and just wipe it with a paper towel to blend it all in. So just paint and wipe. Paint, well, it's really just kind of dabbing. Dabbing and wiping, dabbing and wiping. Whoa, that's a little bit. Yeah, we want to fix that up. That was a big mess there. But yeah, I do that all around. And then I wanted to blend it in the top. So I took some more of that antique wax and just distress the top there. Oh, how pretty that looks. And just in case someone could see the bottom, I just wanted to dirty it up just a little bit, just so it didn't look so pristine. And I'm going to give this a coat of Mod Podge. All around. That's good. Now I took pattern paper and I cut it down to size and I tore it into a circle type shape. And I'm just putting some Mod Podge on the back of that, on the paper. And then apply it right to the top of my riser. I'm going to take my little scraper tool and just scrape out all of the bubbles and wrinkles. Even if there's some wrinkles, it doesn't really bother me because I love the texture. I'm a texture girl. And then I just give it another coat of Mod Podge and we're all set. This little riser is done. And I think it came out so pretty. See the difference? It just technique, and it was the same paper too, but it just wasn't, my shelf just wasn't the right match for the paper. But here it is, all done, and I think it is just adorable on my dresser here with our little shelf that we gave new life to. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks again for stopping by, guys. I appreciate you all so much. You have a great day. See you soon.